Oh boy, the St. Louis Blues get some reinforcements in the name of Robert Bortuzzo and Nick Leddy. Both come back from their upper body injury, and it is not a moment too soon for this injured St. Louis Blues blue line. They go on to defeat the Minnesota Wild and take a 3-2 series lead by 5-2. Vladimir Tarasenko nets a hat trick. One of those goals is an empty net. Kirill Kaprizov nets 2. This was a much closer game than the scoreboard would have had you seen, but in the third period, it was all Blues all day, baby. Marc Andre Fleury unfortunately gets a little holy in this one. He must have worn his Sunday pants because he was definitely on his knees praying, while Jordan Binnington ends up getting his second start of the playoffs, and he looks brilliant. So Binnington gets the win. Fleury unfortunately has one of those rare, but they do happen, Fleury games where he gets lit up in the playoffs. The good news is, Wild fans, is usually when this happens, when you go back to Fleury, he goes like God tier mode next game. So from what I've seen from Fleury, he has had, the periodic struggle, let's call it 1-10, and then he goes lights out after that. Jordan Binnington remains hot, so at least the Blues are getting value out of their $6 million man. That is exactly what you want to see. Their blue line ends up helping them out in the sense that most of the danger chances from Minnesota were kept to the outside. Again, this is one of the worst teams in the NHL statistically, 5-on-5. Blues fans think I hate them. I just call them as I see them. It's what my eyes tell me. It's what the stats tell me. It is what it is. But that wasn't true tonight because the Blues tonight definitely kept those danger chances limited. But if you go ahead and you take a look at the analytics of the game, the Wild actually outplayed the Blues in many ways. But that's why you got to watch the game. That's why you got to use a keen eye when taking care of it. And that's why you have elite players like Tarasenko, Ryan O'Reilly, and others in the lineup to be able to bury goals when you need to bury them. The Blues open up the night with their amazing power play. So yes, we do knock them 5-on-5 for shot generation and shot protection, but we give them all the credit in the world for being one of the deadliest power plays in the NHL. And they open that up with a goal. First one by Ryan O'Reilly. Of course, it's O'Reilly. I've called this guy a playoff monster going in. I know it's Robert Thomas in the first line, but O'Reilly is the elite player right now for the Blues. Minnesota answers back with 2 power play goals of their own, which is interesting. Minnesota doesn't have a top-ranked power play, but when you have Kirill Kaprizov and you're down a man, it's one of the most deadly, if not the deadliest goal-scoring winger in the NHL, maybe in the playoffs right now. So he nets 2 back-to-back, beating Jordan Binnington. The second one was pretty soft. I blame Binnington on that one, but what are you going to do? Brandon Saad puts in what I would consider a soft goal of his own, but he goes ahead and ties the game. Tarasenko follows it up with 2 back-to-back. We're going to break down all these goals here for you, and the St. Louis Blues end up taking this home. It's 3-2. I called this one St. Louis in 7, so if my Marc Andre Fleury theory holds, this one should be going back home to Minnesota for Game 7 and be exciting. But hey, we got to get to Game 6 first, and before we can even get to Game 6, we got to go ahead and talk about these goals. Now, one thing I want to address, the elephant in the room. Blues fans, Wild fans, everyone talks about me not giving both teams enough credit. Both teams have holes. That's just the way I call it. At the end of the day, when I look at the Western Conference, I said this in my playoff breakdowns. I'm not knocking any team. I don't hate any team in the NHL except the Coyotes. Absolutely useless organization. 4,500 fans. Tried to sell the highest ticket prices in the NHL. These guys are an utter joke. Move them. What a clown show. The Yotes. Blah. Everybody else, I'm chill with. But the Wild and the Blues and anybody else in the West not named the Flames and the Avs, I was like, the East is the much stronger division. And y'all didn't like that either, but it is what it is. So whether I'm right or wrong, that's the best part about talking hockey, is that you can get on here behind a microphone or comment down below and let me know how right or wrong I am. I don't care which one it is. I love hearing from you. It's the best. Blues and Wild fans, 2 really passionate hockey markets. Even though you're American, you may as well be as passionate as Canadian hockey fans. You guys love your teams, and that's great. So let me hear from you below in a comment. Give me a big thumbs up, whether you agree or disagree. It helps share the video. We're talking about your team. Great information here on this video. Subscribe to the channel. A ton of you have if you want to be here. And we're going to be following one of you on to the second round as the Colorado Avalanche are waiting in the wings. We also have 2 new programs here with us. One is our membership page. If you want to go ahead and join the coaches staff like my buddy Brown Tiger here, he's my first member. It's amazing. go ahead, hit the join button. It is monetized, so go ahead and read before you join. You join the coach's staff. It's a way to just show appreciation back to the channel for the work we're doing. Absolutely no pressure. The free thumbs up and subscribes go the long way. But hey, we got cool badges here from trainer all the way up to president as you come in, and it ensures you get really good communication here with me, Coach Ryan D. You can reach out to me on our members page. I'll get right back to you as quickly as possible within my day or work day. You can even request videos if you're on our top tier. You get shout outs in videos. It's just a great way to stay engaged with Coach Ryan D and support all the content we make here on this channel. And if you don't want a recurring one, we have a super thanks down below the heart with the little $sign. It's like tipping your bartender. No pressure on either, because that free thumbs up, that's all I need, especially with comments, views, clicks. That's why we're here. And the content will always be free. This is never going to be something we hide behind a paywall. So your choice, how you want to support. We're going to keep covering hockey. Let's get after these goals. Standard power play formation here. Remember, we talk about this Royal Road all the time. It's a line down the center of the ice. It doesn't actually exist. It just helps you visualize when you cross that line, it becomes tough for goalies to stop pucks. Let's go ahead and count the amount of times that's one. We call this zone widening on the power play. You're going to go ahead and see the quarterback get to the top of the point here. So that's one across the Royal Road. Marc Andre Fleury has to reset. You end up moving it back to the top. And again, that is across the Royal Road. And you can see Marc Andre Fleury down there trying to get big, trying to get tall to see the puck. St. Louis drags that puck again across the Royal Road for a third time for a big clapper here. They let it go. There's nothing pretty about this. This is very simple. Back and forth across the Royal Road, changing angles. And there is Ryan O'Reilly banging in the crap. Minnesota does nothing wrong on this penalty kill. They're looking to help their goalie. They're looking to find their puck. Ryan O'Reilly bangs in that rebound. That is just a clinic from one of the best power plays in the NHL. Minnesota sits in its 1-3-1 formation. Kirill the Thrill. Nothing magical has happened here. The puck has gone down. The puck has gone below. Kirill is actually on his strong side, which is unique for a power play for certain players. Kirill can really play anywhere he wants in the power play. He's a deadly shooter no matter what. So the one-timer is great, but you can see Binnington there looking for the puck, sometimes getting that little bit of extra time to drag and shoot that puck. And was that not an incredible drag and shoot by Kaprizov? He ends up finding the back of the net. It's clean. It's in. That is nothing but a shooter's shot. That's a snipe. There's nothing to break down there. The Blues do just fine, but Kaprizov picks the perfect spot. Nobody is going to stop that when the shooter finds the hole. Remember I told you Kaprizov is all over the power play? Look at him get to loose pucks. That is unbelievable. He was 5 strides behind the St. Louis player. He takes 5 really hard strides in order to get that puck, and that is what you need to do to be a goal scorer and or a good defender. Getting on your horse and going. Beautiful stick lift. He ends up making pivots. St. Louis unfortunately eats ice at that point. This is what happens when skill meets somebody that is just not as skilled as them. It doesn't matter what you do. Kaprizov is a top 10 player in the NHL all day, every day, in skating, in strength, in everything. Kaprizov absolutely owns him on that one. He ends up driving the net, and look, he lays Binnington out. That's the second Blues player eating ice thanks to Kaprizov. Kaprizov goes high and wide, but you know what? There's 5 players on the ice, but why not go ahead and get yourself open? Up to the top of the circle from your buddy Kevin Fiala. Dangle with 2 beautiful stick handles and get it through Jordan Binnington. This all happened because of Kaprizov's hunting of the puck earlier. The Blues found themselves totally out of position. Everyone was diving and sliding. As soon as you're diving and sliding, you're in trouble. Weak goal by Binnington there. Yes, the puck did come from Fiala up to the top of the circle, and if you follow this channel, you'll hear me say that's one of the more difficult stops to save, but Kaprizov gave him time to reset. It wasn't really a super tough shot, but it was a nifty little backhand. It ends up beating him, and it is 2-1 Minnesota, all things looking good for the Wild. The key to the sod goal is simple. 2 St. Louis Blues outwork 5 Minnesota Wild. If you're a Wild fan, you're throwing your pop at the TV at this point. Look, that puck goes up 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5th one is in there. But nope, St. Louis ends up getting in there and outworking them, bumping that puck out wide to the wall. The fact that 2 people won that race to the puck is just, oh, that's tough on Minnesota. And then just an absolute junk shot is inbound there. Fleury just totally mishandles it. Wah, wah, wah. It ends up going in the net. But don't just blame Fleury here, Minnesota. Blame all 5 guys on the ice. That was definitely something out of a Monty Python skit. Vladimir Tarasenko showing Kirill Kaprizov, whatever you can do, kid, I can do better. Go ahead, hold my hockey stick. Beautiful breakout by Ryan O'Reilly before we end up getting down here. The captain looking like a defenseman, moving that puck up. Only took 2 seconds to go 200 feet coast to coast. St. Louis again wins the race to the puck. Like 3 players back, of course St. Louis wins it. When you are winning races to the puck individually, you are going to win hockey games. So the only one I saw win a race today was Kaprizov, but look at Tarasenko coming in here at the top left of your screen. Tarasenko is left wide open. This is a theme in the game. Everybody gets puck watching from Minnesota. Tarasenko is there, and now you have 2 problems. You have Fleury laying down as he should. Nothing wrong with what Fleury did here. You have all 3 Minnesota Wild leaving the front of the net open. Nice back check. Nobody is there to help, and that puck comes from below all the way to the top here. As soon as that happens, this is going to go in the net every time. I love me some zone entries. Zone entry is absolutely one of my favorite things to talk about. It's my favorite way to score in hockey. It's the favorite thing to break down. St. Louis ends up doing a beautiful zone entry. What we call this is a delay. So anytime a player makes a play like this, it's called a delay. It's made to create gap between him and the defenseman. Our defenseman from Minnesota has done the right thing. He's backing in and he's waiting for help from his back checkers. You want to do that when you're in trouble. He was definitely in trouble based on this zone entry here. So this was a correct play by Minnesota. St. Louis just executes even better. What we end up seeing here is a high cycle to Vladimir Tarasenko. And then what we need to do is drive the mid lane. We have to have someone going into that mid lane, and the original puck carrier does that. By going into the mid lane, you push the defenders back, you cause screens, and you put pressure on the goalie to back up into his own net. That mid lane drive and pressure opens up just enough space for Tarasenko to snipe it. Bar down skis. Another beautiful goal by Tarasenko. That's his second of the night, tying Kaprizov. He'll finish off with an empty netter there. He'll go ahead. He'll outscore the kid from a guy that had 2 injury-riddled seasons, wasn't able to get on the ice, and then he ends up stepping back in this playoffs. O'Reilly, Tarasenko, David Perron, these are the names that are carrying the St. Louis Blues right now. Young guns like Jordan Kyrou are doing amazing. He has stepped up massively in the playoffs, but I do think it's the wily vets of the Blues that are making the difference in this series. Their calmness, their playoff experience is definitely paying off. And a healthy Vladimir Tarasenko is deadly. So I hope this puts to bed any rest of Vladdy wanting out of St. Louis. I just feel like he'd look weird in any other jersey. I hope he finds happiness staying in the home that he's only known. I hope he likes playing with guys like O'Reilly and that. I know he likes winning. I know he loves scoring. So St. Louis takes it 3-2 series lead. We're heading back to Minnesota. Coach Ryan D's prediction is Minnesota will take the next one. This will end up in Game 7. Original prediction was St. Louis in 7. So thanks for being here, Wild and Blues fans.